Okay, folks, so number 20. Whenever we have a paragraph like this, we're going to work backwards from the last sentence. And the first thing to notice is variables in the answer choices, which means we're going to pick numbers. Which of the following represents the original price of the computer in terms of P? So we can do one of two things. We can either pick a price for P or for the original. If you go back to the beginning, you'll see that she bought a laptop, 20% discount off the original price. The easiest thing I can think to do then is to make the original $100, because taking 20% of that's going to be really easy. So let's discount 20%. 20% is 20 bucks, and we'll subtract the 100 minus 20 to get $80. Now it's $80. This is before tax, and it tells us in this question that she paid an 8% sales tax, right? So what does that mean? Well, we need to find 8% of 80. To do that, you would say 80 times 0.08. Another way of thinking about that, by the way, is that 80 times 8 over 100. Sometimes it's easier to know that at first, even though this is maybe easier to put in your calculator. 8 over 100, because 8 per means division, cent means 100, like century or centennial or 100 cents in a dollar, right? So per cent means divide by 100. Either way, if you do this, it's not absolutely vital that you put this in parentheses, but it's good to know that this is the actual percentage amount. And on more complicated questions, it may matter. The order of operations here might matter. Either way, when you do this, you're going to get $6.40. And then you add that to your 80. So 80 plus the sales tax of $6.40 gives us a grand total of $86.40. That's the amount she paid. That's P. So our job is to put P back into this and see which one works. So of course, multiplying 86.40 times something less than 1 is not going to get us back to 100. That's our goal. Put in P, get back to 100. A doesn't work. B, you can tell it doesn't work because you would have to divide 86.4 by 0.864, right? If P were just 88 over 0.88 would be 100. So of course you can use your calculator for that, but it's also worth just noticing that because we're going for a nice clean 100, it's pretty clear that that's not going to work. Okay, you'd probably have to try answer choice C, but it's not going to work. And we'll talk about that in a second. The right answer is D. So D, if you put 86.40 in for P and then you divide by 0.8 and then divide by 1.08, you're going to get your right answer. Watch out for order of operations there as well. So one thing you could do to avoid the order of operations is literally do this math in the bottom first, 0.8 times 1.08, figure out what that is, and then it's going to actually be 0.864, divide P by that, and you will get back to 100. So once we've done this question by picking numbers, it's important to see what's actually happening here. 88% is wrong because when we took our 8% sales tax, it was 8% of a smaller value. So that is to say, 88% could be called like 80% plus 8%. The problem is we're not doing 80% and 8% of the same amount. What we're doing is 80% of 100 and then 8% of a smaller number. That is 8% of the discounted price of $80. So that's why 88 is wrong in both cases. And the other thing to notice about this math of the point, so to be clear, the 0.8 is the 80%, and then the 1.08 is the 8% sales tax. So this looks a little bit backwards because the way that we did it is we did 0.8 times our value of our original, which I'll call X, and then we took that amount and multiplied that by 1.08, keeping up 100% of the value. Right? Once we've got this discounted price, we keep it. That's what 1 is. We keep that price, and we add the additional 8%. That gives us P. So, of course, if you want to work backwards to X, what do? Well, you divide by these amounts, and that's why answer choice D is correct. It's awesome to be able to see that, but it's even more important to be able to use real numbers to beat questions like this in an efficient way that doesn't require special knowledge. So, hopefully that's helpful.